Hi everyone, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend this presentation. As you know, my name's Daniela and I'm Adam's assistant. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the new Bupa travel policy, which is taking effect from the 1st of November. I won't be going through the entire travel policy today, I'll just be going through the key changes and how it's going to affect our department. The purpose and objective of today's presentation is to provide an update on the new Bupa travel policy changes and when they're taking place, to provide our people with a clear, consistent and cost-effective approach to business travel and travel-related expenses, and to answer any questions you may have around the changes. So today's presentation is an informal presentation, so at any time throughout the presentation, if you have any questions, feel free to just interrupt me. We have a brief agenda for today, so I'll be going through the purpose and objective of this meeting, which I've already gone through. Why do we have a new travel policy? What is changing and when? And how this will affect our department and our travellers. And then we'll have time for questions. So why do we have a new travel policy? It's to ensure consistency in travel practices. It's to make sure that everybody is booking travel consistently and that we have a streamlined process for all travel requirements. It's to enable Bupa to effectively manage travel expenses, enable Bupa to take advantage of best rates and other benefits available from preferred suppliers and service providers, and it enables us to report and track travel expenses and to ensure all expenditure complies with policy and relevant legislation. The purpose of the policy is to ensure that our people have a clear understanding of Bupa's policy relating to business travel. It provides policy guidelines which allow business travellers appropriate levels of service, comfort and safety to perform their role and represent Bupa effectively. Ensure the safety and well-being of our people, recognising relevant workplace health and safety obligations. It's up to Bupa to know where our travellers are and to know that they're safe. So now I'm going to go through the key changes of the policy. First of all, does anyone have any questions? No? So what is changing and when? As I said at the start of the presentation, these changes will take effect on the 1st of November. So some key changes: all international travel requires the additional approval of the ANZ MU CFO or our Managing Director through this email address. In the past, we haven't had to go right up to the level of the ANZ MU CFO, however now we do. All domestic travel must be booked at least 7 days in advance. Again, the old travel policy, we've never had that in place. We've been able to book travel when we like. If you do require urgent travel that falls outside of the 7 days, you do need to get approval from the member of the ANZ executive team, and that is our Managing Director.
So not our director as such, our department director, we've got to go to the ANZ executive team.
Correct. So you email the administration team your travel, like you normally do, and then we will get the approval from our Managing Director. And all international travel must be booked at least 30 days in advance. And just so you know that if you do book any travel and it falls outside the 7 days, that does appear in the report as well. So I know you don't book travel yourself through the FCM online portal, but I just wanted to advise you of how the bookings should be done. You will email the administration teams, that's Tanya, Amy and myself, and then we book it for you online. But just so you're aware that the process that we have in place is for domestic, trans-Tasman and international bookings. For simple bookings, including air travel, hotels and car hire, we use the FCM online booking tool. For any complex bookings or any remote areas with limited options, or if we are using unused airline credits, we need to contact FCM via email or phone. And just down the bottom, in the past we have had people that book travel through alternative websites, so going directly through Qantas or going directly through Virgin, etc. We are not allowed to do that anymore. We have to go through the portal and we have to go through the providers that we have contracts in place for, because we do get much better rates.
So Daniela, even if we go directly to Qantas and the flight is cheaper, we can't accept that. We've got to go through FCM.
Correct.
Or yourselves
Yes.
via FCM.
Yes, that's correct. Bupa, part of the health and safety and knowing where our people are, if you book directly through Qantas, then Bupa don't know where you are. So in the event of a catastrophe or a crisis, they need to know where you are and how you can be contacted. So just a couple of other key changes around domestic and trans-Tasman air travel. All air travel must be booked on discount economy class using the best fare of the day. All air travel must be booked via the online booking tool system. And non-flexible tickets must be booked. A flexible ticket may be booked with prior approval by a director. So by our director, Adam, he needs to approve it. And that can be on inbound returning flights only.
What's a flexible ticket?
So a flexible ticket, what is a flexible ticket?
Yeah.
So a flexible ticket is if you're travelling to Sydney for a meeting, they say it's going to finish at 2, but it might finish at 12, and you have your flight booked for 4. If you book a flexible ticket, it gives you the option of going to the airport and changing your flight without getting charged any extra.
Okay. Thank you.
However, in the past we've never had restrictions around it. We've always been able to book flexible fares, but we're not now because there is a substantial flight difference and people were probably taking advantage of that. And it's to encourage people also to plan their meetings properly and plan their days properly. International air travel, obviously it's the lowest logical fare of the day must be booked regardless of personal airline preference. So again, looking at the old travel policy or the current travel policy, Bupa have been a little bit more flexible around airline preferences. However, with the new travel policy, it is the lowest fare of the day. If you are wanting to go with a specific airline, then you do need to get approval from a managing director and you do have to pay the difference yourself. Air lounges and loyalty points. I imagine that a lot of people won't be happy with this change because in the past we have paid for airline lounges if you travel more than once a month. However, now Bupa will not reimburse the cost of joining or maintaining memberships for frequent flyer or travel lounge programs.
So irrespective of how many times you fly a month, Bupa will not contribute to this cost?
Correct.
Or the only way is via salary sacrifice option?
Correct, yes.
Oh.
Bupa has negotiated discounted rates with Qantas Club and Virgin Lounge that people can use at their own expense through the salary sacrifice option. When you do cascade this to your teams, if there is anyone that's wanting to take advantage of this and don't know how, feel free to get them to come and speak to me. Accommodation, not too much has changed with accommodation. Accommodation must be booked at preferred hotels where Bupa has negotiated agreements. That's always been in the policy, however, Bupa are getting a lot more, firmer with this. When we go into agreements with providers,